So here are the Death Knight cards. As always, I'm doing them all at once because I'm not making a fucking like 5 minute video on 3 cards. I'm not gonna clickbait my videos that hard, but anyway. Doctor Stitch and Sue, 6 mana, Battle Cry, discover a 5/3/1 cost minion to stitch this. Death Battle, summon the 5 cost minion. I don't understand what this fully means. There's the video right here, so I'm gonna see it before. Why is the quality so bad? That's it. Okay, so that was the 5/3/1, but I'm just confused. Like, what? Okay, I see. So I get it now. It gives the 5 drop, the Death Battle summon a 3 drop, and then the Death Battle summon a 1. Uh, yeah, that's a card. I don't think this makes the cut in even Death Knight and Wild. I mean, it's just like Rattlegore, but it doesn't like win you the game. So I don't think this is playable in Wild by any means. Yeah, it's just really slow, and it's not, if it had taunt, maybe, but I don't know. Silk Stitching, 2 mana, discover a friendly minion. Choose a friendly minion. Discover a spell that costs 4 or less for it to cast when it dies. There's a world where you play this in even Death Knight. It's not the worst card ever. It's similar to the Naga Teacher card, or I don't remember what that card's called. I'm sorry, I'm really sick and I'm on like so much cough syrup, my brain just doesn't work. It's overall 2 mana cheaper if you play an even Death Knight because you put it on your hero power, obviously, and you get 4 cost spells, so it can be really powerful. This card is probably worth experimenting in even Death Knight, but I couldn't tell you for sure if it's like an auto include. It's just a pretty decent card. I'm thinking of School Teachers, but it's called the Naga Teacher guy. Okay. Threads of Despair. 1 mana, Shadow Spell, 1 blood. Give all minions Death Rattle, deal 1 damage to all minions. This card's fucking disgusting. This is an incredibly powerful card. But, say it with me, Blood and Rainbow Death Knight can't win the game in Wild. It doesn't matter if you have crazy good removal. If half of the decks you're playing against, you can't beat no matter what you do. Yes, this card is absurd in aggro. This is one of the best removal spells ever printed, actually. This card's fucking disgusting. However, it doesn't matter. Rainbow Death Knight can't win the game. Blood Death Knight can't win the game. And against other slow decks, they can win the game. Reno Druid wins the game. Shudderwalk Shaman wins the game. Warrior wins the game. You can't win the game as Death Knight. So this card just doesn't do anything. In practice, in theory, yeah, it's an incredibly overpowered card. This is like I'm saying, one of the strongest cards ever as a removal card. This is fucking insane. You play this against Shadow Priest, hero power, bump 1 guy, full clears their board. It's so disgusting. It's just, it doesn't matter because you can't win the game. So the card's really good, sees no play anywhere because there's no deck to play it in. The worst part is, this card also is the same way. Rambunctious Stuffy. 3 mana, 4/2, Undead Beast. Rush. After you cast a Frost spell, gain a Reborn. This card's the same way. It's an incredibly, incredibly powerful minion. However, Rainbow Death Knight sucks. You wouldn't play this in Rainbow Death Knight anyway, because you run very few Frost spells in that deck. And Frost Death Knight doesn't really exist after it got nerfed in Standard. It hasn't existed ever since. So this card just doesn't do anything. The issue with Rainbow, with Frost and Blood Death Knight is they can't win the game. Yeah, you can play Mograine on 7 and Blood Death Knight, okay, and then you lose the game on 9 to Warrior, or you lose the game on 8 to Reno Druid, or you lose the game on 9 to Shudderwock Shaman. So it doesn't matter if you have your quote-unquote win condition if it doesn't do anything. And then, Climactic Necrotic Explosion, that's not a real card. Rainbow Death Knight does not win games. You're not making it to 10 mana against any deck. So, yeah. Again, these two incredibly powerful cards, they just don't see play anywhere. Remember when I said those last two cards were incredibly powerful, but they're in decks that suck? Yeah, Rainbow Seamstress is the same way. 3 mana, 3/3 undead. Battlecry. If your deck started with Blood, Frost, or Unholy cards, gain Lifesteal, Reborn, or Rush, respectively. Of course, Rainbow DK card. This is an incredibly powerful card. But, again, Rainbow DK sucks. They can't do anything. So it doesn't matter if you're getting powerful cards if you can't win the game. Who cares if you just fucking annihilate aggro if half of the matchups that you're playing against you can't beat no matter what you do? It's just bad. And it's part of the issue with Death Knight as a class, and the Blizzard kind of just refuses to remedy it. So, you know what? If they don't want Death Knight to be playable in Wild outside of Even, they don't want Death Knight to be playable in Wild outside of Even. Dark Thorn Quillbore, 4 mana, 2/4, undead Quillbore. At the end of your turn, deal this minion's attack damage randomly split among all enemies. So this card would make the cut in Blood Unholy Even Death Knight. However, Blood Unholy Even Death Knight is just significantly worse than regular Triple Unholy Even Death Knight. So I don't think you play that in that deck. This card really wants to be hand buffed, but there's no way to hand buff cards in Triple Unholy. And, if you're playing Grave Strength, you're going to win the game anyway, so you don't need this card. It's unfortunate. It's, again, a part of the really bad design of Death Knight for Wild. It just sucks, it's nothing you can do about it. They just make cards that don't function anywhere, and then I don't know. I don't know why they do it. Shambling Zombie Tank, 2 mana, 3/2, undead mech, taunt. Battlecry, spend 5 corpses, summon a copy of this. Again, as always, this is really good in like a Rainbow Death Knight, where you can buff and have Unholy at the same time. However, it's not a deck. It doesn't exist. It's just a bad card. You don't play this in even Triple Unholy, even DK anyway, because you can't. You literally can't play this card in the deck. You don't have a good enough way to generate corpses, to make this card work. You're spending corpses on actually important things, like your Grave Strength, like your Bone Lord? I can't remember his name. Sorry, Lord Marrowgar. You're spending your excess corpses on your Lord Marrowgar as a final push against slow decks, because Lord Marrowgar wins the game. Most decks can't deal with a board of like 7/7s and larger. It's really hard for them to deal with, So Lord Marrowgar actually is a really strong late game bomb, But the issue is, Lord Marrowgar can't be fucking played in Rainbow Death Knight. This is why the rune system of Death Knight fundamentally doesn't work. You can't actually play good cards in your shit deck. So when they try to push this Rainbow Death Knight, which they've been doing for the last 4 expansions, it doesn't fucking work. And Death Knight suffers because of it, in both Standard and Wild. And then they remove the ability to discover triple rune cards. Like, why? I'm sorry, I like Death Knight as a class, but it just sucks so much ass. Like, it's so much worse than Hunter, and Hunter sucks. It's so much worse than Demon Hunter, and Demon Hunter sucks. Like, I don't know. Sorry for rambling about Death Knight being a shit class. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about these cards in the comments below. Was I right about any of them? Was I wrong about any of them? Hint, I'm really not. None of these cards will see play in Wild. I mean, unless somehow someone discovers a Rainbow Death Knight list that can actually win, but that's not likely. So, all right, peace.